Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. This is Syed Atiq Hasan from Sydney, Australia. Yesterday, on Saturday, 15th of January, I recorded my vlog in Urdu on the same topic, which I'm going to speak to you in English. The reason for making this vlog and talking to you, speaking to you in English, because most of the youngsters, particularly Pakistanis children who are born in overseas in Western countries, they don't understand clearly Urdu. Many words they don't understand, so they don't get the concept of what I'm going to explain to them in my analysis today. This is very important topic for the youngsters because they always ask, and eventually most of them don't take interest in Pakistani politics because they said this is waste of time, and they are not happy with the situation in Pakistan, since maybe they have opened their eyes and try to understand the politics in Pakistan. What they have seen is Pakistan is gradually, continuously going towards backward. And today, Pakistan's situation is very bad, and the youngsters, they are not taking any interest. Where the parents, when they speak to them, I have observed the experience, they don't want to listen even. So I would like to communicate through this vlog to them. I would like to them ask me the questions. I will try my best to explain to you why Pakistan is in deep disaster today, keeping in view and keeping analysis of the history of how Pakistan, very quickly tell you what was the ideology of Pakistan, why Pakistan was created, very briefly, because this is not the actually core topic of this vlog. And then I jump to uh, at that stage from where Pakistan were gradually, Pakistan has been going into the disaster, and today's Pakistan technically is in default, economically and financially. So I hope you understand, and if you have any questions, if you have any thing in your mind which contrasts to my statement, please give me send me a message through my Facebook or on WhatsApp or on YouTube, and I'll try to explain to you, because this is very important for us that our children should understand that why Pakistan was created, why Pakistan gradually going into a deep, terrible situation financially, economically, socially, and politically as well. So let's start. Today's my topic is that because I'm starting from a particular scenario, so you may not understand from what happened before that, and as I said to you about the Pakistan. So let me explain to you very quickly about what was the Pakistan's ideology. When the Pakistan movement started, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who led the leadership of Pakistan movement as a president of All India United Muslim League. So the basic ideology of Pakistan was sovereignty belongs to Allah, Islamic State governed by teaching and Quran and Sunnah, to save the distinct religious, political, economical, cultural, and social identity of Muslims. These are the three basic key elements of ideology of Pakistan. And I don't want to explain to you further because this is in English and you understand. And I believe my new generation are very intelligent, they're very sharp, they have vision, and they quickly understand what you are trying to explain to them. So this was the basic of Pakistan. And then when Pakistan created, after that, in 1949, Liaquat Ali Khan, who was the first prime minister of Pakistan, Liaquat Ali Khan, who actually, I show you on the screen, who actually drafted the objectives resolution of Pakistan. What would be the objective of this country, newly born country, Pakistan, and how the constitution will be written about this country and what are the basic structure and pillars of Pakistan. So he drafted a 12-point agenda, which is called Objective Resolutions, and in 1949 in March, and that was passed on 7th of March in 1949. And you can read, when you see this, you can stop this video and read one by one all these one. This is not a topic today, but if you want to know more about that, I have separately did a couple of years ago a vlog where I explained about the objectivity of the objective of Pakistan. Keep in mind the Constitution of Pakistan was supposed to be written on these lines, and Liaquat Ali Khan started working with the cabinet to formulate, to construct, and to pass from the assembly the Constitution of Pakistan, and they made it in Constitution in 1956, and then in 1958 army took over the country and dissolved the Constitution, under which the democratically formed assembly was running. So from 1947 to 1957, assembly was running under a democratic system, and Field Marshal General Ayub Khan took over the control of the Pakistan, thrown out the civilian government, and imposed martial law from 1958. There is a background about that, and since then, 1958, Pakistan has been ruled by army, directly or indirectly, means through directly under the martial law, or through their created political elements. They call it politicians, but they are basically created from the army factory. They are the introduction of Pakistan or in politics. They are introduced in politics, and most of them are landlords and Chaudhry and tribal leaders and all. So Pakistan has been running, and customized democracy implemented behind that. Army was always there, and is still today. And they did whatever they want, and they have controlled Pakistan for the last 70 years, and particularly from 1958 when the first martial law was imposed in Pakistan. Now, before I go further, I would like to show you few statements of the father of the nation, Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, his message about the concept of Pakistan. So you have to clearly understand what Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah said and how Pakistan was supposed to be built and run. This is what you have to understand. There are so many sayings of Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. You can go on Google and search and see what was his concept. God did not permit him a long life, and after 1 year he died. So whatever he had in his dream, the agenda of Pakistan, which he created under the group and Tehreek of Pakistan movement. So Qaid Azam, for example, said, and I quote, this is the quotation of Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah: "I naturally belong your statement that you do not believe in provincialism. You must learn to distinguish between your love for your province and your love and duty to the state as a whole. Our identity, our duty to the state takes us a stage beyond provincialism. It demands a broader sense of vision and greater sense of patriotism." So Muhammad Ali Jinnah emphasized, always said to the nation that you should believe on one nation as a Pakistani. This is patriotism, rather than you still think about your province, your provincialism, because before the partition, before the creation of Pakistan, there were Pakistan, the India were divided into different states, and still in Pakistan, in the current Pakistan we have 4 states, and the people are more now, unfortunately, talk about politics on provincialism rather than patriotism. So this is what Jinnah said, and he again said in another his sayings through the radio broadcast Dhaka on 28th of March 1948. He said, "If we begin to think of ourselves as Punjabis, Sindhis, etc. first, and Muslims and Pakistanis incidentally, then Pakistan is bound to disintegrate. This is very, 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 very critical things to understand what is and how Pakistan was disintegrated. Jinnah already said, look at his vision in 1948, that if you think about yourself as Punjabi, Sindhis, Bengali, Mahajir, Pathan, Pashtun, and Muslims and Pakistanis accidentally, that okay, we are Pakistanis, we are Muslim, and that's it. And when you practically, politically, you behave like your Punjabi, Sindhi, Mahajir, or Baloch or Pathan, then what will happen? Pakistan is bound to disintegrate. Do not think that this is some abstruse proposition. Our enemies are fully alive to its possibilities, which I must warn you that they are already busy in exploiting. This is what it says, and that is what happened to the Pakistan, and Pakistan disintegrated. I'll come on to that later on. Now, he further said that in an event, Islam has taught us this, and I think you will agree with me. For whatever else you may be and whatever you are a Muslim. You belong to a nation now. You have carved out a territory, a very vast territory. It is all yours. This territory, the land of Pakistan, is yours. It does not belong to a Punjabi or Sindhi or Pathan or Bengali. It's all yours. This was the concept. This was the ideology. This was the message of the founder of Pakistan. Now, what happened in 1958? Martial law came. Ayub Khan took over the power and imposed martial law in Pakistan, seized the constitution, and he did whatever he wanted to do. He created a new party, a conventional Muslim League, from and got some elements who were in Pakistan All India or Pakistan Muslim League. It was All India Muslim League before partition. When Pakistan created the All India Muslim League, came as Pakistan Muslim League, who took over the power and ran. And Qazi Muhammad Jinnah was the president of Pakistan Muslim League. So Ayub Khan created his own convention Muslim League and formed it. He took some political elements from the Pakistan Muslim League, and he introduced some new chaps, some new figures into the politics. One of them was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who were foreign graduated, very intelligent, very educated, and he brought him in the politics. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto used to say and believe that he is just like a father. He used to say Ayub Khan dad. So this is the history. Now, after that, the one thing I must mention, which I did not explain in Urdu, because most of the people understand that. Youngster asked why Pakistan was created like one is East Pakistan, one is West Pakistan, in between India. This was not right. More Muslims are still in India. So the division of Pakistan, the formation of Pakistan physically, the territories which came into Pakistan was not right. So at some extent, it is correct, but Pakistan was democratically formed Pakistan was formed on an election, and the result of the election formed the territories of Pakistan. The election happened, and result of the provincial assemblies 1946. On this election, Pakistan's territories was finalized, and if you can see on this, that when election happened in 1946, so these are the states, major states. There are other states as well, and you can see these were the total seats in the province, and then these are the Muslim seats. This is the All Pakistan Muslim League seats. This is the percentage of Muslim. This is the Congress seats. Based on these seats, where the Muslim League got the majority in the parliament, provincial assemblies, those areas came into Pakistan. So the one big area was East Bengal, because the Bengal got a majority of uh, Muslim seats. Seats belong to All India Muslim League, 114. That's why East Bengal became East Pakistan, and then here in West Pakistan, Punjab, NWFP, Sindh, these got the majority Muslim League seats. That's why they became the part of Pakistan. So Pakistan itself created on the democratically held election in 1946. This was the first time in the history of this world, politics or world, that a country created on democratically decided by the people of a land that we want to live in a separate country. That was decided. So whatever the result was, Pakistan got the territories. That's why one part of the Pakistan was East Pakistan, which is today's Bangladesh, and other part is West Pakistan, which composed of four provinces, rather three provinces. Then Balochistan came in 1948, and it was a state run by a Nawab, and Pakistan Army took over that. And this is another background of this. At some stage, I might give a vlog on that, how Balochistan became the part of Pakistan. Now, what happened is, um, it's from 1948, or rather when Liaquat Ali Khan was assassinated in 1952 or 53. There was a rift between the leaders of the East Pakistan and the leaders of the West Pakistan in the assembly. The reason was that the majority of leaders and the seats belong to East Pakistan, because East Pakistan has the largest population than West Pakistan. They are bigger, they have bigger constituencies, bigger seats, and West Pakistan has less. But the power always, they wanted, behind the scene, the army wanted to have the power with the West Pakistan. So the leader of the East Pakistan they had demanded according to whatever their people wanted, which were not given. They always fight in assembly. So every 1 year or so, a new prime minister came, and then again came whenever the uh, no power motion put in the on the no confidence vote put in the parliament. Always another Bengali prime minister came into power, because they are in majority. Pakistan army didn't like this, behind this, because they could see that because they are in majority, the power will be one day it will be in Bangladesh, in East Pakistan at that time. And the army didn't want that, because majority of the army belonged to Punjab, and Punjab was in West Pakistan, was the biggest province. So there was a rift, and eventually Ayub Khan took over the power in 58, and since then that rift between the leaders of the East Pakistan, West Pakistan grown up, and Mujibur Rahman, who started his political career with the All India Muslim League. He was assigned the role to create the youth wing of Pakistan Muslim League. Um, so he was very much with the Qazi Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He believed on ideology of Pakistan. He was very patriotic leader. Then when Pakistan came into existence, he still wanted the some changes in the running affairs of the government of East Pakistan and West Pakistan, and he was equality. And he had his own agenda. He has his own points to prove that the people of East Pakistan were not given the rights. So he started his movement. He formed his party, Awami League. I'm quickly going on that. And then he wanted to have election. So there were a lot of pressure of the government, and people were at time against Ayub Khan. There were rallies going on in East Pakistan. East Pakistan situation was very bad. They were against the military government of Ayub Khan, and eventually Ayub Khan resigned and gave and hand over the power to Yahya Khan, who brought the continued the martial law. And then, because of the pressure of the people of East and West, he decided to have the election in 1970, a general election in East and West Pakistan. So there were election held in 1970 in East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and that election was the biggest election of Pakistan, and very fair. There was no any complaint from any political elements or party or group that there was rigging or something or unfair held. Everyone accepted. All the parties from East Pakistan, West Pakistan accepted that election. Now, from here, the things started. Now, you have to understand this. So, when the election held, the result came, and you can see this was the result. Two major parties contested that elections. One was Awami League, headed by the Mujibur Rahman, and and the other major party in West Pakistan was Pakistan People's Party, headed by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. At that time, the total seats of the parliament Awami League of Mujibur Rahman got 160 seats. He won 160 seats from out of 161. So he swept the election in East Pakistan. And here in West Pakistan, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's party, Pakistan People's Party, got 81. So there was like a double difference. I mean, 100% more seats of Awami League. 160, around more than 12 million people voted Awami League, Mujibur Rahman, and 6 million, around more than a little bit more than that, to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and he received 81. Now, what happened was all the seats won by Awami League were in East Pakistan, and all the seats won by People's Party were in West Pakistan. So there were clear division, clear polarization after this election between East Pakistan and West Pakistan politically. And if you see the percentage, Awami League received 39.2% votes, and Pakistan People's Party received 18.6% votes. Out of turnout was 63. Keep in mind, this was the only election where the turnaround was more than 60%. The other election held after that until last election in 2018 never ever touched the 60% mark of the voter turnaround. This was 63%. So you remember now that Awami League was in majority. Now, so what happened in democratically election? Then if you if you hold the election, the result of the election, whatever it is, should form the new government. Whoever got the majority form the government. This is the general principle of the democracy, isn't it? So in that scenario, if you see, Awami League should be in power because they got 160 seats, and to form a government, they were required 151 seats only. So they have more than that. So it was very clear the power had to go to Awami League, and Mujibur Rahman should be the Prime Minister of East and West Pakistan. Awami League contested the election under the leadership of Mujibur Rahman under 6-point manifesto. They wanted to implement 6 points, and which was not the separation of East Pakistan, which was not, but it was very hard. That could have been negotiated with the Awami League. He wanted the newly formed government as soon as possible, which it should be, but it was the Yahya Khan. At that time, he was the martial law administrator. He was using delaying tactics, not actually calling the parliament. This was the drawback. This was the bad scenario. This was the worst situation, that a party won the election. There was no dispute on the election. There was no complaint on the election. It was a fair election, and the assembly was not called because they had feared that now the power was going to be with the Awami League, which means it would be the government will be under East Pakistan. So that's fine. It should have been fine because East Pakistan was the part of Pakistan. But they did not call the election. And there was a conspiracy between Yahya Khan, the chief martial administrator, and the leader of the People's Party, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who only got 81 seats. So 6-7 months, there was so many things going on in the agitation and all this one. And the Yahya Khan government army did not want to call the assembly. At one stage, they agreed, but then Bhutto actually pressurized the other smaller parties who got 4, 5%, 10% maximum seats in the parliament. They said, no, we are not going to go in Dhaka and have the assembly proceedings in Dhaka. He refused that. And Mujibur Rahman did not agree with that. He said, we are in the power. We always sit in Karachi. At that time, the Karachi was the capital and the assembly was in Karachi. He said, we didn't have any problem before. We always sit in Karachi. Now, we won the election. We are a majority. We got the more seats. Now, the assembly should be held in, the parliament should be held in Dhaka. But they refused. And at this stage, I'm cutting short. Yahya Khan and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, they pressurized the smaller parties. Bhutto stages the rallies, and he said, he abused Bengalis. He said they are liability on us. They are bhuke nange. They are do take ke log, and this and that, and we are not going to give them power. This was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And under the lot of pressure by the people of East Pakistan and West Pakistan as well, Yahya Khan eventually hand over the power to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was a civilian politician, who won the election but never be in assembly because assembly was never called. So Yahya Khan hand over his position as a civilian, as a chief martial administrator to a civilian person as a civilian martial law administrator. This was a black history of Pakistan that, and it never happened in the world, that a civilian person has got the power as a civilian martial law administrator. And Yahya Khan resigned and gave handover to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. That was the conspiracy. And he actually, but before that, there was agitation and all, and the demand of the Muslim League, the Awami League were on the peak, and eventually there was agitation on the street of cities and towns of East Pakistan, and India supported them. They formed the Mukti Bahini. There was a fight, and there was a war in 1971. India supported Mukti Bahini, and Pakistan split, and Pakistan and East Pakistan was fall down on 16 December. Pakistan army surrendered surrendered to the Indian army. General Niazi was the chief at that time in East Pakistan. He surrendered against General Arora Singh of India. You can go and search on Google, on YouTube, and you can see the very sad images of and shameful images of Pakistan army, that the general surrendered with 100,000 army soldiers to the Indian general. 100,000, some of them were civilian bureaucrats as well, were as a army, under the army. We call in Urdu is Jangi Kaidi, prisoners of war. And India took them and put them in India, about 100,000. And General Niazi came back, returned back to Pakistan, which was a West Pakistan, and now it is a Pakistan only. And he was called as Tiger Niazi. He killed around 2 million Bengalis. And he was called as Tiger Niazi. This was the setback, a black history of Pakistan. So this was done, and Pakistan split, and only West Pakistan left. And since then, Pakistan was run by army. Then after there's a history of the rule of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. He created a lot of polarization in the country. His implementation of different in different fields like education and all, that was also flopped. He he eliminated privatization of education. In education was education system, the entire system was damaged and all those. So there's a history of that from 1972 to 1977. But before that, I would talk about what happened then when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto took the charge of a civilian martial administrator. Then after 6 months, he became himself as the president of Pakistan. And then after a few months, he called assembly as a president. And then from that assembly, many of the smaller parties did not want that assembly. He actually forced them to come up in the assembly. Now keep in mind that assembly was the remaining member who won from West Pakistan. So at that time, because this 161 which belonged to East Pakistan was gone, because East Pakistan was gone and Bangladesh created. So 161 from the 300, if you minus 100, 150, 140 parliamentarian were in West Pakistan, and they called the assembly of that 140. So my point is, when the country was divided, one bigger part fallen down, and majority of the seats were gone because the East Pakistan East Pakistan became Bangladesh. So that 140 parliamentarian in the parliament should be have no legal status, because geographically the country is geographically country was changed. Now we have only West Pakistan. So the assembly convened in 1972 by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was after the downfall of East Pakistan was illegal. So what was supposed to happen? After the downfall of East Pakistan, the remaining Pakistan should be reconstituted because the bigger part gone. So that election should be nullified, and there should be a new census, a new constituencies in West Pakistan should have been formed. It might take 6 months, 1 year, because now Pakistan is a new Pakistan now. It was not the Pakistan which was created in 1947. So it's a new Pakistan which has got the 4 provinces. So there should be a new formation or reformation of the democratic system or the constituencies based on West Pakistan, and those 4 provinces which were before partition, before 1947. These should be reformatted, restructured into different states or districts, and given equal rights to every area of West Pakistan. Not like the same which were before partition, like Punjab, Sindh, and then northern western province, NWFP, which is now KVK, and then Balochistan. But it was not done. The same 140 were called, and then Zulfikar Ali Bhutto put the constitution of 1973. My point is, and if you can prove me this is wrong, that assembly was illegal because new election were not held. These were the 140 parliamentarian were belonged to 1970 election, and that election was nullified because East Pakistan gone. So that was not done. That's why 73 constitution, which every government and army and all those one talking about 1973 constitution, 1973 constitution, taking 93 constitution, making so many changes on the for the benefit of these what I call them, the political pandit, political guru. They are not politicians, they are created by army, except the recent politician Imran Khan. I'll talk on that. So that's why I say that 1973 constitution was passed by an assembly which was not right, which was illegal. New election did not, there should have been new election, maybe after done all the new homework for the new constituencies, and it should have been happening in 72 rather than calling the assembly. Many smaller parties actually against that, but they were pressurized, they were tortured, they were put behind the bar. Whoever opposed that, intellectuals or poets or journalists, they were tortured, some of them murdered, so by Bhutto, and by force they actually run that assembly. And then Bhutto was hanged by Ziaulak, another army dictator, after he was charged on the murder charges of a leader. I'll talk on that, and I have already had a vlog on that, so I'll not talk on this that incident. But he was eventually charged by on the charges of murder, and he was hanged in 1977. Between 1972, when he came into the parliament in 97, there was a lot of corruption, there was a lot of discrimination, and there's a history of that. I have done a vlog on that, and I have written many articles of the corruption of Bhutto, and how he polarized Pakistan, how he implemented quota system in Sindh, how he divided, how he brought the Vadera and Chaudhry and tribal leaders into politics and made them leaders. And he worked with the army, but eventually when he gone against, he wanted to be a big leader of the world, and he had some agenda, and he was very good as a speaker. He was very intelligent person, but he was evil genius. He was genius, but evil genius. So he has done a lot of things. He's got good ideas on the international platform of Ummah, but that was not workable because he has a big mouth. America didn't like him at one stage when he tried to be an international leader now after becoming prime minister, and then army didn't like him as usual. And then what happened? You know, what we call in Urdu, जैसा करोगे वैसा भरोगे. Whatever you sow, whatever you reap. So the thing is, he was hanged, and Ziaulak came, and then Ziaulak ruled Pakistan about 10 years. He was murdered through his helicopter was crashed. So there was another history. And since then, you can see now, army ruled, army brought Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, as I said to you. Ayub Khan brought him into politics. He used to call Daddy Ayub Khan. Then Ziaulak brought Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif was a businessman. He was the chairman of Chamber of Commerce in Lahore. He didn't know anything about politics. Ziaulak brought on the wish of his father in politics, and then he became the premier of Punjab, and that's how he got into power. And he started corruption, a new type of politics. And then after him, Benazir brought again. So there is a history from 1972 to 1970 to until today. But the thing is, I give you facts that from 1988 to 2013, and I'll talk about 16 and then 18. So in 1988, 43% people voted, participated in election. 1990, only 45% people of Pakistan took part in election. 93, 48, 40.28, 97, 35, 2002, 41, 2008, 44, 2013, 55, and under 2016 are same like 50 or something, and then 2018 less than that. So what I mean to say is, by showing you this, that except 1970 election where 73.5 percent vote, 73%, 63% vote casted by the people in never happened after that. So from 1988 to 2018 rather, now all the elections were held uh, under the influence of the army. Whoever army wanted to become the prime minister and rule the government, he brought into power. Army brought into power. This is what happening. This is what happening until now. Now, in late 90s, in end of the 90s, Imran Khan, who did not belong to any political background, family or something, he came into politics. He was a new chap in politics, a new player, and he came and he formed his own party. He did his hard work about 22 years, formed his party PTI, and because he did not introduced by army, he had a conflict with the army because he has got his own agenda for Pakistan. His agenda is good. He was, and everyone agreed on that he is not a corrupt person. He is not a traditional politician, but he wants to change Pakistan. He wanted to create a new Pakistan with the fair. His agenda was fighting against the corruption in Pakistan. And you know about new generation about PTI, about Imran Khan, because you watch him every day on television. So I'm not talking about much about Imran Khan, but Imran Khan is the leader in his party, which is not from the army nursery. He is the only after Liaquat Ali Khan, the leader who did not belong to army. So army didn't like him. Army removed him when he won the election in 2018. Army wanted him to obey him as well, like the predecessor in the past, but he refused on many things, and he has a conflict with Bajwa, General Bajwa, who just retired, and army didn't like him. He threw him out and brought those corrupt leaders who were initially introduced by army. And now Pakistan is run by those corrupt people, you know that. And that's why Pakistan now has gone broke, financially broke, and economically broke. Corruption is on the peak, and all these violence and crimes and murders and rape and everything you can think about happening in Pakistan, because this was the bad politics, bad rule, corrupt rule of Pakistan army, which we call establishment. They actually don't fear to kill anybody. And they did. You can see now, very profound investigative journalist Ashik Sharif was killed. Many run away from Pakistan nowadays. This is the situation in Pakistan. So today's topic is not the current situation of Pakistan, but you know that. But this is what the reason. Bad luck for Pakistan. It was not run as it was supposed to be, and that's how Pakistan, on the verge of collapsing now. Technically, financially, it has been broke. Pakistan Treasury doesn't have money to return the loans. No other country willing to give a loan to Pakistan further. There's no money in the Reserve Bank to run the country. So just pray to Allah. Only Allah can make any revolution or something. Imran Khan is trying, but Imran Khan has also some issues, and he also expecting from the same corrupt system. Pakistan judiciary, Pakistan bureaucracy, all the big institute in Pakistan all are under the influence of army. Army wants whatever they want. Sometimes the media, journalists are not under the control of army, so they either put them behind the bar, charge them on fake cases, or kill them. This is what they do. So this is really country run by like a mafia. So this is what it is. So inshallah, I'll talk whenever I think about that. I should have to speak in English for the new young people. I hope and I request to my young fellows that please forward this, read this, This is not all, because I just try to sum up everything in 40-45 minutes, and that's why it keep longer, because I wanted to give you background as well. So you should go and search and study about Pakistan before make your mindset that Pakistan is a bad country, Pakistan is a flop country, and new ideas against Pakistan, against Qaeda Azam, against the Tehreek-e-Pakistan. This is all rubbish. I don't want to use this word, but I have to, that this is all bullshit. You should go and search about Pakistan, about Qaeda Azam. The leader like Qaeda Azam is born in history, in centuries. He was the leader of the century of Muslims who created Pakistan. Unfortunately, Pakistan was not run according to his dream, according to his ideology. So this is not the fault of Qaeda Azam Muhammad Jinnah. This was the fault of incapable, corrupt people who has been running the country for the last 70 years. So inshallah, I'll talk to you sometime in future. Allah Hafiz.